Hello, everybody, and welcome to another great episode of the Gridiron Glory podcast with Tad and Will here. The podcast where we cover all 32 NFL teams. So today we're going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints, who won 26-13. And yeah, this was a game where the Kansas City Chiefs, they were able to go out here, they were able to make plays, they were able to make them early, they were able to get things going. You were able to get Kareem Hunt involved in the running game early. You were able to even have Patrick Mahomes be able to make plays at times when he needed to with his legs. Um, it's just really nice to see that Patrick Mahomes is able to spread the ball out with his receivers, getting multiple playmakers involved, like Xavier Worthy, Noah Gray, even the likes of McCole Hardman. But of course, Juju and Travis were probably his top two targets in this game, making, you know, dynamic plays left and right out there. So, they are the defending two-time Super Bowl champions for a reason. Patrick Mahomes is simply the greatest quarterback of all time. Um, I certainly think he's making a case for it right now. You might even be able to say that he could very well statistically surpass the likes of Tom Brady. Yeah, Tom Brady does have the 7 Super Bowl rings, but so far at this point, Patrick Mahomes he only needs 4 more. And I mean, you could strongly make a case. I mean, one might even say that this could be comparable to the likes of like LeBron and Jordan. Yeah, like Tom Brady might be like the MJ, if you will, but Patrick Mahomes is going out here and playing very much like the LeBron esque or a Steph Curry esque, like if you will. So he's definitely on that level in a comparable sense. Um, and if he keeps it up, he's going to make a case to be simply the greatest football player that ever lived. And I mean, the fact that the Chiefs are 5-0, that's not by mistake. I mean, this is probably one of the greatest NFL teams of all time. So we're seeing it right before our eyes. A dynastic franchise that continues to win, that continues to find ways to win. Um, now like whether or not, they get certain calls that go their way, this and that doesn't matter. The fact is they find ways to win despite what call goes their way or doesn't go their way. They still just find ways to win. So, yeah, the Chiefs will probably win the Super Bowl again this year. So uh yeah, I mean, it'll probably just, I mean, it's probably it has to be at least said that the Chiefs will make the AFC Championship. They'll probably win the Super Bowl again. So here we are. Just yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention anything about the Saints. Yeah, so the Saints go out here, and I mean they play an at best mediocre football game. And that's being nice. You did like to see the performance from Rashid Shaheed, and me personally, Rashid Shaheed's performance did lose me my fantasy matchup, so I'm pretty salty about that personally. But I mean, I'm sure Saints fans out there, you guys are pretty excited to see the speedster and the likes of Rashid Shaheed. And Tad, real quick, I really want to go ahead and get your take on this. And where would you rank Rashid Shaheed amongst NFL wide receivers?
Rashid Shaheed is a player that he can make big plays. He's very boomer bust. Like there's some games where he could get very few, if any, targets, very few, or if any, catches. But if you get him the ball in space, he's gonna outrun everybody. I mean, he's always been a high level speedster, a high level receiver, making plays in the return game. Um, so when I look at Rashid Shaheed, I see a guy that honestly, this may feel like a cop out, but he's kind of a hard player to rank just because of the fact that it's so boomer bust. I mean, he's got the
Interesting
talent to
take.
be an upper tier receiver, but he just needs to get more opportunities potentially. So, I mean, and then you look at a guy like Chris Olave only having 4 targets and 2 catches. I mean, I know Chris Olave is a guy you've been big on for a while. So do you see any concern with his role?
You
Do
know,
you
I'm
see
kind of, I'm kind of,
growth?
I'm kind of starting to scratch my head a little bit now about Chris
Yeah.
Olave because at one point, even last season, Chris Olave, has been a dynamic playmaker time in, time and not time in and time again. I mean, we're only 5 games into the season out of 17, so still a lot of time for Chris Olave to prove me wrong. But so far, he has me wondering if he's still that kind of a guy.
Yeah, you definitely scratch your head a bit. And I mean, you know he has all the talent, and you know that if his opportunity grows, he'll make the best of it. You have to believe that. And now, I mean, there's some questions about the Saints moving forward, especially in light of Derek Carr's injury, and the fact that they've announced they'll be starting the rookie quarterback Spencer Rattler next week's in his NFL debut. So a big moment there. And it's gonna be interesting to see who Rattler latches onto as his go-to receivers. Like, will he build a connection with Olave? Will he try to get Shaheed involved? Will he spread the ball out, get Kamara involved, get guys like the tight ends, Juwan Johnson, Foster Moreau involved? There's a lot of questions about what the Saints are going to look like with Derek Carr sidelined for their next matchup, which is a big one against Tampa Bay that could go a long ways to determining if they can stay relevant in the division. So a lot of question marks there for the New Orleans Saints.
And also, real quick for the Chiefs, I want to get your take on Samaj P. Ryan and what he's been able to do in this Chiefs offense.
Yeah, you look at a guy like Samaj P. Ryan, it looks like he did not have very much of a role. He had 1 catch for 24 yards, no rushing attempts. So it makes you kind of scratch your head about where they see him in comparison to guys like Kareem Hunt, Carson Steele, the rookie. So it makes you scratch your head a bit, especially with Pacheco out. Do they just not see much of a role on the offense for him? It makes me wonder what they see using him going forward. It makes me wonder.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. This is the Gridiron Glory, where we're covering all 32 teams.